Okay, so we've done walls, windows, and doors, and we're now going to move into creating some floor slabs and some ceilings. So we can do this either in 3D or 2D. I'll do it in 2D first for the floors. So we've gone and done our walls, doors, and windows. We won't touch on components at the moment or columns. We'll come back to that later. We want to get into floors and ceilings. So here is my floor tool. And what I want to do is start assigning the floors to where the walls are. Now, there are several ways you can do this. You can actually just draw them manually. You can select the lines in the project. The default tool that's come up is pick walls. So I'm just going to go in here and highlight over the wall. I could tab, and it's going to grab some of the walls I want to use. And you can see instantly it's gone and created the floor slab to the inside face of that wall. So I'll just use the tab tool for productivity just to do that and go OK. And now when we go back to 3D, we have a floor slab in our model here. If you need to see this a little bit better, there's a number of tools down here that will allow you to view or create different visual styles. I'm going to go to the default visual style, which is hidden line. Click on the square and put it on consistent colors, and we've got a better idea of how it's going to look. Now there's other ones that you can use which are shaded. You could go to realistic if you wanted to. This may consume a bit more processing power. I'll just keep it on shaded for now, and it's a bit clearer to see where that slab is. Now let's repeat that again, but do it with the ceiling tool. So I'm going to do this one in 3D. I'm going to go to the ceiling tool, and this one is going to have automatic ceiling, so I can hover over some of these spaces and it may display it. It looks like it's not doing it in my 3D view here, so I'll do it in ground floor view, do it better in ground floor blue view, and at the moment this one is set at 2.6 from the ground floor level. Now we may want this to actually be set to the ceiling level, so I could put it on the ceiling, not at 2.6 off the ceiling level. I could have it at say 50 mil off the ceiling level, for example, and that's not going to work here because we're not in the ceiling plan. So what you'll see is, depending on what drawing view you're going to be viewing in, will display the ceiling. This is kind of a tricky one. So here we're going to look at the project browser, and we've got views all. I'm just going to click on the plus button here, and by default it's creating floor plans and ceiling plans. Now I'm going to go to my ceiling view here, sorry, my ground floor under the ceiling plans, and this actually displays a little bit differently up here in the tab. I'm just going to use that tool again, ceiling, and I'm going to try and assign it to the ceiling plan. And is it going to allow me to do it? It's not liking me doing it that way. It's going to ask me to do it from the ground floor. Okay, so I'll go back and I'll do it from the ground floor, and with that ceiling tool I'll do it this way. So this is just automatically creating ceilings in the model based on the room spaces. So this is one way to do it. It's not a perfect way to do it, but it's just the automatic setting. I prefer to use the sketch setting, to be frank. So here in the 3D view, it has actually created them. By default though, it's gone and created them off the ground floor. So let me just redo that again, because this can be kind of confusing. So I'm going to do this on the ground floor. Now, if you need to make adjustments, I can go and right click and go select all instances or similar items in the entire project. That's going to grab all those ceilings. At the moment it's sitting at 0, so I'm going to put it at 2.7. And when we go back to our 3D view, we'll see them in the right location. So even when you make mistakes in Revit using certain tools, you can modify them. So here are my ceilings sitting at 2.7. Looks like by default, if I look at edit type, they're 45 mil, 12 mil jibboard. Again, we won't be doing families in this part. We're just going to use the standard stuff. So these will be sitting at the 45 plus 12. So what's that? 57 mil thick. off the 2.7 stud wall height we've got here. Now, the way I typically do them is to actually do them in the ground floor view here, or you could do them in the ceiling plan view here. So I'll do them in the ceiling plan view here with the sketch tool. I want to sketch it. Now this one I'm going to do it the way I was previously wanting to do it, which is at the ceiling level at 0, sketch the ceiling, and I'm just going to use the tools here to sketch out where the ceiling is going to be in this space. Now I could go and use the line tool to grab that wall. I can lock it into that wall. I can draw lines. Now further down the track, I'm going to want to make some adjustments here. Maybe I want to have curtains or blinds or something recessed in the ceiling. So maybe I might just want to look at the dimension here and give myself probably about 200 mil tolerance for maybe a lighting, recessed lighting feature and some blinds or some curtains. So I'm going to bring that back a little bit. So I'm going to be a bit more creative here. And again, I can draw these lines, and even in the sketch mode I can still use that mirror tool. So again, just a reminder, you can go and mirror, pick the axis, and that will do it with the sketch tool as well. Same tools apply, trim. So anything you've created, you can use these same modify tools again and again to increase productivity in your drawing. So here, mirror that across, and this one, mirror that across. So here we have my rough ceiling for my hallway space. I like to use the sketch tool. Now, it may highlight that some lines don't work quite right. This one's intersecting, so I'm just going to go continue and look for what the error is. Here, it's not joining up as a closed line, so I'm just going to bring that back and finish it, and that is now corrected. So when we go back to our 3D space, and I think that defaulted back to ground floor, I'm going to put it on the ceiling level and go apply, and now that's sitting at 0 offset from the ceiling level, and here it is sitting in the right location. So depending on how you want to do this, how you want to set it up, you can see this one defaulted to the ground floor, and I've done a 2700 mil offset. This one I've done it in the sketch display style. I've assigned it to the ceiling level, and it's at 0. And you'll start to see some of these things in the ceiling plans. This one's probably not displaying the best, but you should be able to see these. If they're not displaying, then I need to adjust where my view range is, which is here. For the sake of time, I'm just going to quickly just modify these. I'm going to go and again use select all instances in a time project, and I've got them selected, but I want to see them in this view here. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to put them all on the ceiling level and do the offset. I'll just go -200 for now, and now they're displaying because they're actually within that view range. So these are just little things you can do to get things displaying properly. You can see it's not displaying the door openings because the cut in that view range isn't displaying the door openings. But yeah, here they are in 3D, just down a little bit lower. Okay, so that was creating floor slabs and starting to get familiar with ceilings, where some of the default things can be a bit confusing. How to fix them, how to use the automatic sketch tool, how to display them in the ceiling view correctly in that ground floor, and we can start again to work these up when we need to produce ceiling plan drawings and lighting setouts and stuff like that for our sheets. So there you have it, floors and ceilings, easy.